Hello and welcome to Pride Parkway. I'm Jeff and down here is my N gauge layout, but today it's all about the brand new double O gauge layout that's running around the top about 2 feet above the N gauge layout. Now I know a lot of you are here for the N gauge layout and to see the N gauge layout, but I thought I would document the building of this layout as well. So if you're into both gauges or just modeling in general, hopefully you'll enjoy it. If it's not your thing, maybe give it a try, see what you think of it, and let's go from there. But first of all, let's just start with a massive thank you to everybody for your kind comments on the last video. It had been a while and I do appreciate everybody's support, and there's a few new subscribers come on since then as well. So thank you to everybody, all new, who hits that subscribe button. It really is appreciated, and a thumbs up button always helps as well. So let's move the camera. Let's have a quick tour around this layout. It looks like I've done a lot. I haven't actually done that much. But the one thing that you will notice straight away is the back scene. And basically this layout is going to be a winter layout, and Pride Parkway will be a summer layout, just like the old Pride Parkway was. So we've got N gauge summer, double O gauge winter above it. And that was inspired by a picture that I saw on a calendar. So if I just come up here and grab this. So this is last year's LNER calendar. And you can see there this lovely wintry scene that was on the front, and also the December picture. And that's what my inspiration is for this double O gauge layout that's going to be up here on the top. So let's start with a couple of quick facts about this double O gauge layout. It is the same size as the N gauge layout, as in it goes the whole way around the garage. The main difference is the N gauge layout is 2 feet wide. This is only 1 foot wide. At first I thought that wasn't going to be enough space, and then I watched Gary at Cheeky Tech quite a lot on YouTube, and his old layout that he's just announced he's getting rid of was a very similar width, and actually he's done a lot in that amount of space, so that got me thinking that actually a foot is plenty of space. So it's 2 tracks running the whole way around. We've got a fiddle yard on one side, so only 3 sides are scenic. There's a couple of points just so trains can change tracks. There is nothing complicated about this layout at all. So let's get you down here and let's take a look at it. So this here is the first of 3 scenic sides to the layout. So I have used the Peco Code 75 track right the way around. It's a concrete sleeper, and in all of the scenic areas I have used the railway laser lines sleeper spacing tool to give this a little bit more of a prototypical sleeper spacing. I am not going to lie to you, it was an absolute nightmare because I had sleepers flying off where I didn't want them to fly off. It does look a million times better, but it was complicated, and I probably wouldn't recommend it to either a beginner or, you know, just in general, because if you have to lift a piece of track up because you glue it down wrong, you've lost the piece of track. So it looks brilliant, not that easy to do, but it's done. I'm pleased with it. The points that we've got, there isn't a huge amount of points, but they are in the scenic areas. They are the Peco Code 75 concrete sleeper electroflog points, and none of the points have got point motors on the double O gauge layout because there's only 4 in the scenic area, and I can just do that and save myself the money of buying point motors. So that's the plan. So scenic area right here. So what's going to happen? So behind this board here, you have the fiddle yard. And I'll show you the fiddle yard in just a moment, but basically the trains come out double track through a Hornby tunnel portal there that I've just painted up to make it look a bit different, straight out to here, where it then goes over a viaduct, and that viaduct is one of the Peco kits, not Peco, Wills kits, and we'll have a little bit of a river scene, frozen icy river scene down there, maybe with some dog walkers going by. It's something quite simple. You then come along to this area here where you can see and this is just going to be a little countryside station halt. It will be something that kind of fits a 2-car DMU in it, and that's about it. So all the HSTs and so on that you might see will just come flying through here. And this is just basically for people who might be out hiking in the countryside, that kind of thing. Now, One thing that I did forget to point out is that this layout is going to be set right around the time that GNER appeared. So basically we'll have a little bit of the old BR sectorization, a little bit of intercity swallow, that kind of thing, and then all these brand new shiny GNER HSTs appearing as well. There may not be many HSTs, but I did buy this so that I could get myself some Class 91s and Mark 4s. Bought myself 2 sets of them last year, and they run round on this brilliantly. So that's what will be in this area here. Coming down to here, we've basically got the start of a road scene. If I just move the camera down a little bit, there we go. So what we've got here, now bearing in mind this is the 90s, it's stepped access up to the station. So I've done the one for this side. I need to do a hint of one for the back here. It won't be very easily seen, but this is still gluing and drying. And when it comes to making the one for the other side, I will show you how I made this if you're interested in seeing it. It's basically just card and plastic card, and we'll paint it all up and we'll make it look good. And then we've got a road running through here, and the road, when you look at it from down here, it looks like it curves off the way I've done it, but again we'll cover that in another video. And then we've got the Wills Bridge here and the Wills Very Girders that I've just kind of started to put together to go through. I've also got a pub just here. You can just see the roof of it if I pick it up for you to see. It's the King's Head. It's a Hornby, I believe. Yes, Hornby resin model. I don't want to spend tons and tons of time on this layout. I want to spend most of my time on the end gauge layout. So I am going to be using mainly ready to plonk models on here, because I'm going to be putting snow on the roofs and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm constantly hunting around on eBay for anything that's a bit of a bargain, that's a ready-made model that I can use on here just for a little bit of speed. At this point we come into the corner here, and as you can see by the little white things all the way along, I have used the West Hill Wagon Works super elevation kits. So we've got a radius 3 and a radius 4 curve here, and just the same as I do with the N gauge, I use the track setters to go in there to get the radiuses just right. So 3 and 4, not as sweeping as the N gauge layout is, but that's all I've got space for up here. As I say, it's only a foot at this point. I have put a little corner filler piece in here to give me a little bit more space on the corners, but it is just 1 foot. So let's rotate the camera around and let's take a look at what's going on down this side. Alright, so you come round off the curve that you've just seen, and you've then got this nice run here, 4.8 meters down the garage, and it's relatively straight. You may notice there is a slight kink in the track about there that I need to sort out. To the naked eye you cannot see it at all, but now I've started a video and you can see it. So that needs sorting out. But we've got a little river stream bridge just here, and then from there it runs straight down. It'll go under a road bridge just down there. I managed to pick myself up a Metcalf kit at a toy fair for a £5, so I thought a £5 was much easier than me sitting trying to work out the dimensions of the bridge. So I'm just using the cardboard carcass of that, and then I'll clad it in plasticard and so on. And then it continues all the way down until we got on the other side of the bridge, and that's when the scenery will change. So this is just going to be countryside here. So again, really simple for me to do. Nice country scene, and then you get on the other side of the bridge and you start to come into a town with a station. So let's move the camera down and let's take a look at that as well. So we've moved our way down. Here is that bridge that you can see in the distance. It's going to be a road bridge. The reason I haven't gone any further with it yet is because it's going to need to be raised. Because I want this to be a representation of the East Coast Main Line, I will be putting catenary on it. So I'm just using the Dapol one. I know the Peco one is better, and you can get N brass or other brass ones that are much better. But again, I want to put that kind of effort into the N gauge. I just want this, I can have trains running around and have some nice Class 91s and things like that running around. So this is what I'm going to use. It's the Dapol stuff. It's cheap, it's simple. That's what it will be. So you can see here where the back scene changes. We go from the ID back scene's winter back scene just into a winter sky back scene. And from there, the track continues round, and you can hopefully see me, and where it goes round into the station. So if we just follow that down so that I can show you what happens, hopefully this isn't making you feel too strange. We've basically got this lower area here where I'm going to put some retaining walls in, and I'm not entirely sure what to put here, so I'm thinking either a market or the hint of a market. Bear in mind it's going to be winter, we could probably have a little bit of fun with that. And just to add, it's a winter layout, not a Christmas layout, so winter. And the other option, of course, is I could put something like a scrapyard or something like that there, just because of the era it's set in. But again, you've got these nice third and fourth radius curves coming around. You've got the super elevation in there. Some of my purchases from Ali Pali the other week, managed to pick up some winter snow, some winter grass, muddy grass, and also some snow grass as well, and a scenic snow kit. But then you come around and you end up on the final run, which is right here. Put the camera down so that I'm not making you feel dizzy. And you can see there, we've got the start of a station. So we have got a platform that is big enough for 5 coaches. So for a 5-car train to go on here. Obviously not big enough for a 8 or 9-car East Coast train, but that's fine. They'll just fly through here. This will be more of the regional services and so on. That'll be stopping here. And then we've got, again, a Plunkett station building here. And when I bought this, I got it cheap. I got it on a special offer online, and it actually came with Just Plug lights, which reminded me that I have some Just Plug lights. So before the last Pride Parkway, my very first layout, before I'd figured out how to wire up lights, I bought a whole load of Just Plug stuff, and it's literally just been sitting in a box. And when I got this, it kind of sprung to mind that what I had, and then I went hunting around some boxes under here, and I managed to find it, and I've got quite a lot of stuff. Based on the size of this layout, and so much of it is countryside, I think I've got enough to actually do all the lights on this top bit as Just Plug, which will make life nice and simple. So that's the plan. Behind the station here, we'll have the hint of maybe of a park and some low relief buildings, and then we've got a sloped road going up here, which again will have some step down cottages or something like that coming down to the station. And then we'll have a tunnel over here, which disappears. The train will go through the tunnel and it will go into the fiddle yard. So if I move the camera now, you will be able to see the fiddle yard. So the fiddle yard is the full length. It's a 6-lane fiddle yard at the moment. Hopefully you can see that okay. It's quite hard to get the camera in the right angle. But yeah, so basically right now you've got the 2 lines that run through the middle, and then you've got 6 storage lines. So there's actually 2 behind my HST that's in there. And then that's on the up line, down line, and then you've got 1, 2, 3 at the minute. There'll be a 4th here when I buy some more track. And then I've just got some track set of place of things here. I can fit 2 there, 2 at the other end, so that I can fit DMUs into there as well. So I haven't got a huge amount of 00 gauge stock at the moment, and that's fine. I'll just keep adding a bit now and then. I did buy a GNER and an Intercity Swallow 225 full set last year, which broke the bank. I'm still paying for it. But the GNER one I also got weathered by the TMC, and I also got it sound fitted as well. So I went the full works on that one, but on the Intercity Swallow one, which you can see just the Class 91 sat around there, there's nothing else with that one. The Class 47 is the new Bachmann one. It's sound fitted. That was my birthday present almost a year ago of my other half, so that's there. And then I've got a 37 in Intercity Swallow livery as well, with some Mark II coaches on that, a combination of Hornby and Bachmann. So not a huge amount of stock, but there is a little bit of stock there. So if I just turn the camera around and do a little 360 pan of the garage, and it'll give you an idea of exactly what the 00 gauge layout looks like, and you can see the N gauge layout underneath as well. Alright, so let's start right here. So that was where the tunnel comes out of the main station and through into the storage yard. Ignore some of this dodginess here, I need to sort that out. And then you come around This is that storage yard which runs the whole way down this side of the garage. As you can see, all my mess, all my boxes and everything that's everywhere. But it then comes down, comes around the corner, and then moves into the scenic area. So within that scenic area, you have got a bridge, a tunnel that I've been working on, and a bridge that I've been working on. And I'll link to the paint and stone work that I did previously, because it's the same thing that I've done here, it's just on a bigger scale. It comes round, this is where the station halt's going to be. This is where the road and the pub and the steps up to the pub are going to be. And hopefully maybe you can see where the road curves round under there. Continues to come around. This is where we're going to have that little frozen stream, and then it continues to come around and goes down. There's that tunnel, and let's jump down to where that tunnel is. There's the tunnel, and that's my Gauge Master Prodigy Express. So this is a DCC layout. That was the controller that, my very first controller that I had in DCC World. So it will do the job just fine for now. I may upgrade the end gauge at some point, in which case this will get an upgrade as well, but that's something for the future. This is this area here where I've got kind of a drop down area. So this is where I'm thinking either a market or a scrapyard, that kind of thing. There's a couple of industrial units over there. We'll have a pub, and then we'll move in some cottages, houses and so on into where the station is, and then through the station, up the hill. And you can see there actually a couple of things that I've picked up recently. Scenicraft filling station with just plug lights, and also Gauge Master car showroom. So they'll go up the top there. So that is what the 00 gauge layout is looking like. So that's what we're looking at for the 00 gauge layout. So it's pretty simple. It does look quite far advanced. It is very similar to where the N gauge layout is. As in the trackworks and the electrics are in. It's tested. There's still a couple of track tweaks, as I mentioned in this video, that need doing. I have started on the scenic work, mainly in the form of getting all of this foam board, this insulation board in. And I had to do that because every time I touched it or tried to move it, there was just bits going everywhere in the garage. And because the layout takes up the whole garage, I had nowhere to store it. And so it's just easier to get this done first, so that then I can focus on the N gauge layout. And as I say, I want this to be pretty quick. So in the next video, I am going to be starting work on this section here. So the tunnel mouth, we're going to get some rocks in here. We're going to get covered in plaster bandage, sculptor mold, all that kind of good stuff. Get some basic grounds covering down. Work on these two station halts. Kind of work up to this point. And then from there, we'll start and do this bit, and we'll work on a section at a time. And I will get bored, and I will flip and start doing something on the N gauge and then flip back to it. That's the way I like to work. It's just the way it is. Sometimes you start working on something, you need to step away from it and have a look and then come back. One thing I haven't mentioned is the name of the 00 gauge layout. So on the N gauge layout, we are going to have Pride Central and Pride Parkway is the two names down here. Parkway Station and a Central Station, a bit like Newcastle Central Station. Up the top, it's a countryside station and a countryside halt. So we are going to have Pride Valley and Pride Dale. They are the two names I've come up with so far. I have not had anything produced with those names on yet. The channel will continue to be Pride Parkway, but let me know what you think of Pride Dale and Pride Valley. I'm thinking it'll probably be Pride Dale and Pride Valley over in the big one, but maybe the other way around. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Let me know in the comments what you think about that area over there. Market, scrapyard, maybe something different. You know, let me know what you think would work. As always, like I said at the beginning of the video, massive thank you to everybody for following along. Hopefully this video will go out just before Easter. I'm going to be heading away on holiday for a couple of weeks over Easter. So as soon as I get back, I'm going to start working on this area and get a video out. So hopefully about 2-3 weeks after this video, we'll be able to start getting the next video out as well. I'm going to aim to get videos out every 2 to 3 weeks as much as I can around life and things that are going on. But thanks again, guys. Take care of yourselves. Have a lovely Easter. I'm going to get this out of time. And I will see you all very soon. Thanks now. Bye-bye.